Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I wanted to go over some of my favorite spots to cannon monsters. Most of these are actually profitable or at least break-even spots to use your cannon. Generally when you cannon things you're going to be losing money as the cost of cannonballs is rather high and the rate that they are fired at makes it so you lose money rather quickly, but there are certain monsters that will actually give you a profit. So today I'm going to be going over a few different methods that you can use to train up your range with a cannon and not lose any money on it. Now if you are using a toxic blowpipe as well, it's going to be challenging to find a spot that is profitable for both, but for just cannoning with a rune crossbow or something like that, these should all give you a minor profit or break even. Anyway, I hope you enjoy and let's get started. Now the first monster I want to talk about is the Elder Chaos Druid. The Elder Chaos Druid has a pretty good drop table for cannoning for profit. They drop multiple high level herbs. For example, they can drop 4 at a time of grimy Renar weeds, which are worth around 28k for 4 of them. But they also drop 1 to 4 of multiple different herbs, as well as they drop their Elder Chaos set, which each piece is worth around 300 to 400k, and there's other miscellaneous drops as well. So when I'm cannoning them, I just bring my full black dragon hide, as well as some cheap gear to bring into the wilderness, and I just plop the cannon down anywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. It's a multi-combat zone. All you need to do is protect from magic and you will prevent any damage that you could take. Now, I wouldn't bring more than maybe 1,000 cannonballs at a time because this is a PKing hotspot. It's not as busy as some of the other locations, but people do still occasionally check here. Now, the one main drawback with this method is picking up the drops can be a bit of a pain. Sometimes I would recommend bringing telekinetic grab if you're really having issues picking them up, but the only strategy I can kind of recommend here is if you're getting teleported down to the south, kill the Elder Chaos Druid down there, as the druids will only teleport you if they have been attacked. Otherwise they won't actually do it. But yeah, they have a lot of drops. You can see we already got 2 or 3 drops of the Renar weeds. It's very common, and there's about a 1 in 500 chance of getting an individual Elder Chaos piece, which is worth about 200-300k. Now the amount of range experience you could expect to get here is around 100k an hour with a rune crossbow and around 130k an hour with a blowpipe. I think this method is pretty close to break even. It really depends on how often you're going to get the rare drop, but the miscellaneous and herb drops easily pay for cannonballs most of the time. And it's even better if you're on a Slayer task in the wilderness, because there's then Laran's keys and mysterious emblems, which will easily pay for itself. So if you can't do this on a Slayer task, it is ideal, but I understand. You're going to go through the Slayer task extremely quickly, and Chaos Druids aren't that common anyway. Once I run out of cannonballs, I just teleport back to Edgeville, and then I use the Burning Amulet to teleport back to the Chaos Temple, and repeat. Now there's been a monster in-game for years now, located in the Fremenic region, that is actually, in general, profitable to cannon. It is located north of Yatizo, and the drop table is pretty good. It has access to the herb drop table, which means Renar weeds at a fairly common rate. However, there is also an uncommon drop of a rune battle axe, as well as a rare drop for a rune kite shield, a granite shield, and a rune warhammer. And when you are cannoning the creatures, these drops pop up very quickly. On top of that, there's quite a few nice rune drops for blood runes, death runes, and nature runes, all at a very common rate, as well as ensouled heads. Really just in general, there are a ton of medium value drops here, so cannoning them can actually be profitable. You kind of want to set your cannon up in the middle here, and you want to protect from melee. Now, there's actually 2 attack styles here. There are rangers, which don't do nearly as much damage, but you'll want to focus them just to reduce the amount of damage you are taking. So you'll need to bring prayer potions as well as ranging potions, some food, and maximizing your prayer bonus would be ideal. Look at that, there's a drop of 18 raw sharks as well. Now once again, it's going to vary quite a bit on your luck, whether or not you get profit, you'll lose a little bit of money, or you break even. But in general, you're not going to be losing much money, if any, cannoning something like an ice troll. With most of these methods, you want to focus on filling up your cannonball, because as it's in a multi-combat zone, you are going to be running through cannonballs extremely quickly. Obviously, you want to attack as well, but your focus should be on cannoning, picking up the loot, and attacking where possible. The XP per hour here is a bit less than Elder Chaos Druids. I was generally getting 110k an hour with a blowpipe and a cannon. With a rune crossbow or a dragon crossbow, you're probably getting closer to 85 or 90k an hour. While that's not as good as Elder Chaos Druids, it's for one, not in the wilderness, and 2, you get more drops here per hour. I think that add up to more, which really makes ice trolls a viable option. Now another really nice spot to go cannon is actually at Green Dragons, and with the release of the Revenant Cave, there's a really excellent spot to do this at the south of the Revenant Cave. It's a multi-combat zone. It's really quick to get to. You can teleport out with an Amulet of Glory, and there are 3 green dragon spawns that you can wreck very quickly with your cannon. I'm just bringing cost-effective range gear for the wilderness. We have a rune crossbow, broad bolts, black d'hide. Our risk is extremely low. The only time we're risking anything is when we're bringing the cannon into the wilderness. But if you do get attacked, I would recommend just putting the cannon down on the ground, as you won't be able to lose it at that point, and it'll make killing you pretty much worthless. So I'll teleport to the bandit camp from the burning amulet and run up to the southern entrance to the remnant cave. From here, I'm going to run a little bit to the north, and there you should see 3 green dragon spawns in a multi-combat zone. Now, the reason that this is profitable is pretty obvious. Green dragon hide and dragon bones are both worth about 2k each, so each kill is worth around 5k total loot. And just being able to kill them quicker with the cannon makes this actually decent money per hour and profitable cannon experience. Now the downside is you're going to be getting less experience than any of these other methods, as the amount that are actually spawned here is much less than ice trolls or elder chaos druids. However, the positive is that you are going to be definitely profiting money, and you may actually make a couple 100k an hour here, assuming that you don't get killed by a PKer, which honestly isn't that common. Most of the Revenant PKers are, well, going to where the Revenants are. There are not so many people that actually check the rest of the cave, and the amount that you're risking here in combination with the drops going in the looting bag makes it so you're not going to be a very juicy target ever. So I'll usually bring around 300 to 400 cannonballs. We'll go ahead and fill up an entire inventory, and then we'll teleport back. There is a bit of a strategy to getting the green dragons in the proper location, but they tend to run away when they're not in aggroing range anyway, so generally you want to keep them at least 2 or 3 squares away from your cannon, as if they start stacking on it, your cannon is going to miss. I always wait until the 3 dragons are dead before I actually loot any of the drops. And one thing I forgot this time that I would recommend bringing is a stamina potion, as you were running around a lot picking up the drops and aggroing the dragons, that I think is worth it in this case. The XP per hour here is only around 60 to 70k an hour with a rune crossbow and a cannon, but the GP per hour with a cannon can actually be around 300 to 400k an hour, including the cost of cannonballs, as you kill them so quickly and their drops are decently valuable. Now, the next monster is actually cave horrors, and while they are not in the multi-combat zone, they do have pretty low hit points, so you're able to kill them reasonably quickly. Now, the Black Mask is currently worth around 1 million GP, and they drop Black Mask at a rate of around 1 in 500, which means that they are fairly common for how quickly that you can kill them with a cannon and a blowpipe. Now, with a cannon, you can get somewhere around 300 to 350 kills an hour, if not more. They die really quickly, and once you get used to moving around and killing them quickly, you can get a lot killed per hour, which means that you can get around 600k an hour in loot, which can cover the cost of cannonballs. Now, the drawback to this method is the loot is not as consistent. You are banking on getting the Black Mask drops, and the range experience per hour isn't as good as some of these other ones. I was only getting around 70k range experience an hour, and that was with a blowpipe. So not ideal, but still a profitable place where you can cannon. Now, with the rate that you can kill them at and their drop rate, you could expect to get a Black Mask once every hour or 2. A few months ago when the Black Mask were worth around 2 mil each, then you were easily profiting a couple 100k an hour on top of using cannonballs, the blowpipe, but now being only worth 1 mil each, it's probably closer to break even. And the last monster I want to mention that is profitable to cannon is, well, a lot of them, and that is any monster that you can cannon while doing Wilderness Slayer. Now, the main reason for this is that when you're doing Wilderness Slayer, you have a chance of getting, for one, a Loran's key drop, and on top of that, a mysterious emblem. Now, these are fairly common, especially from some of the cannonable monsters. For example, cannoning lesser demons, greater demons, black demons. They all have a fairly high drop rate of the Loran's key as well as the mysterious emblem. It is based off of the monster's level, but there seems to be sweet spot monsters like lesser demons which have a high enough amount of hit points but low defenses and are quick to kill. Now, the price of mysterious emblems is quite a bit lower than what they were in the past. However, they're still worth around 60 or 70k, and the Loran's keys are worth around 100 to 150k per key, as long as you don't get killed opening them. And for example, killing lesser demons, there's around a 1 in 100 chance of getting either of these drops, which means on average you'll get around 1 Loran's key and 1 mysterious emblem per task, which is around 150k. Cannoning a lesser demon task will probably only take you 20 minutes, however it will take a fair bit of cannonballs, but in combination of picking up the unique drops as well as their common loot, it is very easy to break even or even profit a bit when cannoning different Wilderness Slayer monsters. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Those are 5 different locations where you're able to break even or even profit by using a cannon. One honorable mention that I didn't put in this video is the Scarabites in the Sophenheim dungeon. Those are also quite good, but I actually haven't finished the contact quest, so maybe I'll put it in a future video. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.